What's up, Mad Lads?
We're picking up immediately where we left off.
Oh, this is immediately. Wow.
Figured save some time. So initially I was thinking about starting this part with Rick's choice. If you remember, we chose between Rick and Gale. And I did Rick's part yesterday, and it's a lot of backtracking of stuff that happens in this. The only thing you see is the scene where you save the one guy and then he dies immediately. So it's just not worth it.
I really hate when games have like the ability to like save someone or do something and then 1 second later it's undone. Like, I get it as part of a survival horror thing, you know, no one survives and all that, but at the same point it's like, oh gosh. Anyway, how's it going, YouTube land? What's up? It's your boy Z. Is this the guy? Rip.
Random researchers being
Rip
dead.
random researcher. What game was I playing? Oh. Yeah, I've been playing the Resident Evil 3 remake. I want to finish it before I give a full opinion on it. Although I'm sure, like, all the... Because today's the day it officially comes out, so I'm sure all the talking, like, heads and whatever are, like, already are like, I think it's one of those things where if it was, like, brand new for, like, 30, 40 bucks, I would have a better opinion on it. But the simple fact that, like, I have to look at it like, all right, this is a game I have to sell for 60 bucks for a while.
The price sticker is definitely the one thing that you can't overlook.
And it's like it's well made, but I feel like I'm done already, and I've only been like messing around with, like, my game timer says 5 hours, but like some of that's like a lot of that's me like doing everything I can. And unlike this game or the previous, you know, Resident Evil style games, it's like, let me put it this way. Oh, yeah, this puzzle.
Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, my God. Imagine doing this on your own.
Yeah, so about this game, I talked about it last part, about its couple flaws, and basically it comes down to 3 major flaws in my eyes. It's, one, environments look very samey, and that's just a product of...
being like a research lab.
Being in a research lab. So it makes sense, but they could have spiced it up a little bit. My second complaint is very... puzzles that are not intuitive. It's either just finding like key codes or remembering numbers.
Well, this is just trial and error. A lot of trial and error.
And this is basically trial and error. And my third one is mostly just enemies are very strong, but since they're using clunky tank controls without any of the RE3 modifications, which would really have helped in this game.
You can obviously tell, though, that... Oh, by the way, I don't think RE3, the remake, has the freaking quick turn. Like, at least I haven't noticed how to do it.
Yeah, well, that's probably just because the camera is so... Well, they did it in RE4, they did it in RE5, so that's not really a good excuse.
Yeah, I guess that isn't an excuse. At least I didn't notice automatically that guy. But, like, that puzzle right there is super trial and error.
Yeah.
Like, I remember doing it without looking it up, and it's like, man. So I know at the same point, on one side, I'm saying, okay, RE3, my major point was, I'm about to finish that game, I think, and I did not have to look a single thing up. Which, for me, like, I have so little patience, so, like, there's so many times I have to look stuff up. I didn't even have to think about looking anything up. You know what I mean? I just, like, just did it. You know? I don't think I found all the secrets and stuff. I know there's, like, secrets and trophies and whatever.
Did you have any trouble playing RE2? Because I remember getting stuck once or twice in the police station in RE2 remake.
Yeah, and definitely so when I played it was with Parker, and we kind of like
more streamlined.
We kind of like handed it off and whatever, and I was like, okay, like, and I don't want to give too much away, but like in RE3, the first one, to get out of the city, you have to find like 5 major items that involve you doing like a ton of stuff and going around and backtracking and all this stuff. And like, I was playing RE3, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, the cable car's fixed, or they do it Subway now. The Subway's fixed, okay. And it was just like, at that point I realized, like, oh man, this game is like really linear. Like, I don't know. It's just
the RE2 remake. I was really happy playing it. The first half anyway. it feels like the Resident Evil 7 like sort of style, and obviously based off RE2 having a lot of puzzles, but it was much more slow paced and kind of scarier, and I really liked that for the first half. But you're saying that RE3 is not like that at all.
Yeah, and it's more action paced, that's what RE3 is. Like RE3 is more than 2.
Here's the next base puzzle. I'm sure you remember this.
Is this the moving puzzle?
Yeah, the hook puzzle.
Good luck. It's so specific.
Yeah, it's one of those things like trial and error or look it up. It's not even satisfying. It's like once you figure it out, it's like okay, I did it. I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like much more actiony. So like you don't really have time to ever think, which I guess that's what they're going with. And like Nemesis is like he's tough to the point of being annoying. I will say the one thing about the game is I'm constantly, the first time through, I'm playing it on standard mode, like, constantly out of everything. Like, I'll beat a boss and, like, have, like, literally nothing left. And, like, that's a pretty cool part of it. But at the same point, it's just, like... It's very action-y. There's a lot of, like, bosses and stuff, and you're just like, oh, okay, you know? Like, forced encounters and stuff like that. Ones where I can't even decide, oh, I want to run, you know? Yeah, good luck figuring this out.
It's like, because it's cards that are... It's limited in what you can do, because they don't let you just do everything. It's 6 commands, it's all set. You have to pick one or the other. You don't have to do all 6, which makes it more confusing. But, like, this puzzle... Is it satisfying to do? Not really.
You have to do multiple things, right?
Yeah. Ugh. And it's like, it's cool in concept.
Yeah, for sure.
But in execution, it's just so lifeless. Which I think is sort of my problem with this game in general. Where environments and the puzzles in them are so lifeless. And it could have been intentional because it is a laboratory, but I don't know. If that's what they meant to do, it's pretty lame. So I kind of understand now that I do respect this game a lot, and I do still think it's very fun. And I'd probably pick this game up over Code Veronica any day ever.
Well, it's less annoying. Code Veronica is, like, super annoying.
But I sort of understand why people don't remember this game as fondly as the original Resident Evils.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so different too. I think for me, whenever I think of this game, the first thing I think of is all those freaking codes. Like, that's the first, if you're like Dino Crisis, I'm like, key cards. Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Even though those, like, discs aren't technically key cards, it's like key cards.
And the worst thing is, right now, like, I'm going through, I did something that doesn't seem like it has a lot of significance, and now I'm backtracking through these areas that all look the same. And I can only imagine doing this, like, the first time, being like, where am I going?
Yeah.
What did this accomplish?
Yeah, I guess it's the exact opposite.
That's definitely my biggest problem with this game.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the RE3 remake. Like, literally, I would just, like, look at the map and be like, oh, one thing I actually like about the map, and I forget if they did this in RE2, because I only played that, like, when it first came out, but when you find all the items and stuff in the room, it, like, changes the color of the map, which I actually appreciate, because I'm really bad at finding stuff, and that's cool to let me know, like, hey, you found everything in here. I could definitely understand if someone thinks of it as, like, babying you or whatever, but, like... Sometimes it's just hard to see items in games. Like, it's not a first-person game where I can, like, look everywhere and all that. But yeah, the first, like, hour when you're in the city, I was like, this game is amazing for the RE3 remake. And then once I got a little bit further, I was like, oh, this game is very linear. Like, I was like, holy crap. And there's cool moments. There's a lot of cool moments. There is. But it's one of those, if I imagine me playing it, like, again, I'm just like, I don't know, like, originally I was like, maybe I'll, do the platinum for this, like, assuming it's nothing, like, super crazy. Alright, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what is that?
Yeah, so they explain it with memos, but...
I don't get it. lab? I'm just trying to go off.
Let's try to figure it out. The solution is laboratory.
C.
It's just C D E F G H
L A B O R A T. Yep, I see it. Laboratory. Yep. Because 3 is C, 4 is D. Yeah. Also, imagine. This is the thing I like about older games is like.
Oh yeah, the dinosaur right there.
Yeah, this would not happen in like newer games. It would like just kill you. Like I think RE7 had it where you couldn't like pause it all, and in RE3, does RE2 have a stable pause menu? Because RE3 does. You can just straight up pause and whatever. I kind of forget. It's been a while since I played the RE2 remake.
Sorry, I wasn't that.
No, I was just remembering if the Resident Evil 2 remake had a stable pause menu. By that I mean like if it like actually paused. Based.
So I think I am going to unlock this one. This has some good stuff.
Use the plug.
Plus I want to unload some of this garbage.
So far you don't need a lot of
Yeah, I gotta say, my current save file has so much stuff. I don't know if I just play so conservatively just because I keep thinking this is a Resident Evil game, but I have so much stuff.
Yeah. But I don't know. I totally understand that all these older Resident Evil games are not long. Like, I get it. But if I felt like it was a game I wanted to play over and over again because it had, like, really cool puzzles or really cool things to grab, the remake of Resident Evil 3 is pretty much just, like, survive, go to the next place, survive, go to the next place, which is, like, I guess. There's definitely cool moments. There's stuff that, like, I only played it, like, a day or two ago, but, there's stuff that, like, I remember and will probably remember for a while because it's like cool moments, but maybe it doesn't flow very well. Like, Resident Evil 4 is like full of a lot of cool moments, but it also flows super well and ends up being like a really satisfying experience.
Yeah,
and I don't know if
like
this is this.
Resident Evil 4, it's like once a place gets boring or too easy, you immediately move on to the next place, which introduces its own like unique challenges. Yeah. And like the game feels consistent. And, like, it has very basic puzzles.
And they have such cool, like, level up kind of stuff that, like, going through it again...
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
It's very... to go through it again and blow through the village because you have really strong stuff, like... I could play that game through, like, 3 times straight, weak, kind of strong, and then ultra powerful kind of thing. It's just, like, really, like, fun.
Yeah, remember this lock code that you found somewhere. Fun. Hey, I think this is actual exposition.
March. Third energy. It is a system that can produce infinite energy from the air. The completion of this system will signify the end of one of society's greatest problems. It is true that the system was initially developed for military use, but we took part in the project because there is a silver lining in it for our future. But something is terribly wrong. The military has been giving us excessively favorable treatment for the simple development of a fundamental energy system. I must discover the true purpose of this project before irreparable harm is done. What on earth is that kid planning to do?
I feel as if like this page of text doesn't make any sense, because they're basically saying that they're making like an energy system which will literally revolutionize the world. Of course the government is going to be like, hey, bud.
Well, I guess the military's looking at it like, we can use it as a weapon.
I guess so, but everyone would be interested.
April. I haven't found any clues in the past month. He is indeed a genius. He seems to have noticed our secret investigation activities. I heard that he established a secret lab on this floor somewhere. The only way to learn of his true intentions will be to find that lab. July. At long last, Mike has found a clue pertaining to the location of the secret lab. He said that he hid the clue in our secret place inside the library room. Secret. Kirk has been meeting frequently with Colonel Clay, the leader of the project, in the computer room lately. What are they up to? Story.
Alright, just make sure I didn't miss anything.
That's why I go into games, like, I wasn't like, there are, like, people I watch who stream Resident Evil games who are, like, counting down the days, hours, and minutes until the game was out. And that's why I just never get, like, super hyped for a game, because then if it comes out and it's awesome, it's, like, great.
You're just like, yeah, it's what I expected, but if it's bad, it's like, it's so crippling.
Yeah, and RE3 is not bad. It's not a bad game by any means. I just, like, at this point expected more. I feel like the game from 20 years ago has more, like, depth, and that's not something you want to see. 7248. Oh, rip.
What? Did I do it wrong? I wasn't paying attention. Was
You
it
said
7?
I think it's 7248. I might be wrong though.
I probably did 742.
But like, if anything, when you do a remake, I hate to say it, I expect the game to be longer and have like more to it. You know, other stuff I can forgive, but like, if you're gonna freaking remake a game, I do expect it to be like more depth. And
like RE1 remake.
There's no like choices like there was in the original Resident Evil 3, which I friggin' loved. I don't think Nemesis randomly follows you around. Like, by that I mean he follows you around when you're in areas, but after you get to the next like part, he doesn't just, to my knowledge, randomly show up. Like, it's not like you're just hanging out and all of a sudden you hear stars and he shows up. It's like, the next time you see him, it's a cutscene or whatever. And, like, that's so 2020. That's, like, so current-gen games. To not just have this cool, like, thing where you can just randomly show up and then just be there and you're like, what the heck? Like, but the thing is, they did it with Resident Evil 2. Mr. X was, like, an amazing nemesis that would just randomly show up. And you'd randomly hear him walking around. So it's like, why is Nemesis... I think the problem is they made Nemesis too much of a god mode. Like, he can do everything. So I guess him, like... Oh, can you kill him?
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Yay.
Even though it's only 50% capacity of gas, boy, that guy is dying in the middle of a lot of gas.
Gonna be okay. What happened?
That fool.
Who are you talking about?
What do you let him
I'm here on the voice team. Where is Dr. Krug?
Here. This figure access to his personal lab.
So he survives for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it says, here's the key. Ugh.
Dude, this game's...
Now, I did find out one thing,
Oh.
which is pretty nice.
Ooh!
So let's do that. I'm going to put you on remote.
Yep. Well, that's neat. Like, it's nice that they have it, but at the same point, it's like... You shouldn't have to do that.
Oh, yeah, right. And I can examine his body.
Do you need that thing? Like the thing you just got from him?
I think so, yeah.
So imagine just... Imagine going through and, like, forgetting to check the dude's freaking body. You know what I mean?
You know what we're going to do right now?
Oh, yeah.
This is optional, but, oh man, gotta do it.
Imagine doing a speedrun and not being able to do this.
Yeah.
The red just kills him.
Get wrecked.
Cancel. Maybe Trev will play RE3 and be like, I don't see what you're talking about. And, like, our friend Michael, who's, you know, was briefly on the channel for a little bit, one time a couple years ago, was saying how he heard that all his friends were saying that, like, it's not that good. And I'm like, it's not that it's not good, it's just that, like, I wanted a bigger experience.
And, like, here's the thing.
It's well crafted. It looks beautiful. The story's okay. Nikolai is like cartoony villainy evil, if that makes sense. Like, he's not the stereotypical, like, I am Russian kind of thing, but his whole thing is like, literally he's just like, his whole thing is, I love money. And everything I do, I can get money from. And it's just, like, cartoonish. Like, to be like, hey, all this stuff's going on, but where is the money? South Park did it really good in one episode where they were like, it was something stupid where there was a bunch of mercenaries or whatever, and they were in this like battle, and they were talking about like how they're gonna die, and then the one guy's like, but at least we'll die rich, you know what I mean? And it's like, yep, every like bad guy from like 24, you know, the show 24 or something like that, it's like, I would rather have money and die. It's like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great looking game. Also, the best part of it is Jill.
Yeah, but like,
Jill's waifu tier. Her like character model is like. I thought that the one from Resident Evil Remake that would be perfect, but like this one is like. Jill's definitely waifu tier, like out the wazoo. It's ridiculous. Manage the information of the key chips that are used. What?
Right, I use B1 key chips. There we go. Now this one, it's literally written on the card, so this isn't
3 something.
3, 6, 9.
But again, it's like get L card.
Now here's the real thing. Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, no thank. I'm not gonna figure this out myself.
Someone who's good with puzzles would like this, but in the interest of time, it's like no. Hey, like Parker would like that.
Yeah, it's like you know what's going on. I mean, they give you the solution to the left. But yeah.
Will you get that back? Goat. Question of the part, because this is probably part 2, maybe. Oh, you need to use that again? My God, what?
Yeah, because you reconfigure it.
What the heck is this? Keycard R.
So now that I have both the key cards, I think.
I'll read this, I think. L and R, yeah, I think you had. Dear Paul, I finally found the clue. This is the key card that you need to enter his secret lab. The only chance to enter it is during tonight's experiment. Obtain the other key card without hesitation. The other key card is in the chief's room. I heard the secret codes for the hidden safe are written on the panel keys. Now, if we find out where the laboratory is, everything will be solved. Good luck.
Boy, it's already solved. Why am I even here?
Yeet!
Alright, so I go back to...
Oh, question of the part. Has anyone heard the rumors, and obviously these rumors are going to be pushed back by several months because of current things, but that Sony was interested in purchasing all the Konami stuff, like Silent Hill, Metal Gear, all that? I don't know if I'm ready for a Silent Hill game where I just walk forward for 40 hours. I'm just not sure about that. I mean, here's the thing. At least someone will be making it. Like, if Konami, like, would just... Oh, you used left and... Yeah.
We have to do it at the same time, so here comes Gale, baby.
But would I rather have something made than nothing? Yeah, but I feel like Konami, if they were just like... They don't even have to have Team Silent, although that would be cool as hell. Just to be like, well, we'll make a Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, no!
And nowadays, like, everyone was so hyped about Silent Hills under Kojima, and now I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know if I want that.
Oh, like, I think that's what Kojima clearly wants to do next is a horror thing.
And the best thing, we had to figure out one of these. It's not enough.
So what if you didn't have it? The third... Or no?
Now this one is, I think it's pretty obvious. You see it's the third and then blah, 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 and then the entire plot is about finding the third energy.
Energy. Yeah, okay. E-N-E.
So even if you don't know what's going on, you can find like context clues to figure that one out.
You pressed exit by accident. Instead of enter.
Did I?
What if you didn't have the DDK codes? You'd have to go freaking find them while Gale just stands there.
Why'd they put exit on the bottom? That's not how computers
Freaking
work.
Japanese. I think, okay, like, Silent Hill isn't owned by one person. No, I mean, Silent Hill isn't synonymous with one person, like one, like, creator. no one should have made Metal Gear Survive. No one should make any other Metal Gear games if it's not, you know, Kojima. Like, he created that series. Like, that's not cool. Like, Silent Hill, whatever. Like, that's fine. Like, different, you know, tons of different people have worked on that series. But that was a real crap move by Konami, of course.
Yeah, and the worst thing is that they have an amazing engine called the Fox engine that MGS5 ran on. And even though I have a lot of problems with MGS5, mostly that it's half finished, it's a really good engine, and like they used it once for Metal Gear Survive, and that game's garbage, even more than 5 by a million. But they're just like, boy, all that work, and it's being used for nothing.
Can you create a black hole? It'd be cool if you like did it in the wrong order, and you just created a black hole, and then the game was over.
That'd be cool.
Oh no! I created a black hole. All the.
Also, this does actually nothing.
Whoa. Do you have to do that though?
Yes. To like trigger the next story scene. Also, I love this recurring theme of move shelf a little bit and items underneath it.
Based.
Oh yeah, this one's actually important. Alright.
Gib.
So that just lets you shoot faster.
With a shotgun, seems unimportant. Wow, just straight up an L dart.
Pretty nice.
She's that on the T-Rex. Put him to sleep.
Okay.
He's not here.
Why? This operation is taking way too long already.
Gail, calm down.
The emergency system has been activated. Emergency lockdown in
What's going on?
I want to know who the voice of Gail was.
Kirk must have tripped off the security system. That fool.
What's your status, Regina? I'm reading
Let's see.
an
Dino Crisis IMDb.
Kirk must have triggered it off. We didn't touch anything.
Can you clear it?
I'll see what I can do.
So here they're just debating if you want to do Rick or Gale's route. This one really doesn't matter too much either. Choosing Rick, he does computer shenanigans to make everything be fine. And then Gale's route is running through a bunch of rooms with a bunch of dinosaurs. And of course I'm doing Gale because it's cooler. But first gotta do this. So many puzzles.
So the voice of Regina, Stephanie Morgenstern, was like 35 or so when this came out, and has done a ton of stuff, but literally nothing I've ever heard of. Rick is done by Richard Yearwood, and his very first thing, the first thing on his filmography known for is Dino Crisis, so that can't be a good thing.
warning.
Yeah, 90s Capcom just picked up like random people that like never have done anything before and haven't done anything since.
And Gale's guy,
We'd better get moving.
Adrian
We bypassed the door lock
Truss?
and we're on our way out.
That's great. But the entire
he like has that voice, you know, like,
You'll never be able to
oh, you know why? He's been in like a million like Nickelodeon things, so I'm sure I've heard him like at some stuff.
brilliant plan, fearless leader, but I have a better
Oh
one.
my god.
These readouts tell me there's an emergency escape hatch in the
This dude's that dude that just gets constant work in like kids shows as being like that almost Joe Swanson from Family Guy voice.
But there's one problem. The hatch is password locked through the mother system.
Forget it. If you can't crack the code before the dinosaurs rush in, we'll be completely trapped.
I know. You just have to trust me.
I don't.
Base.
What about you?
Thank you, Base Gale.
Make your choice.
I'm gonna do base Gale's one, which is way harder, but cooler.
The unfortunate thing is when you don't pick Rick, then that means that later, when you have the date part, you're definitely gonna go on the date with Gale. Usually you end up going on the date with Gale, sometimes with Rick, and if you do things just right, you actually go on the date with the Doctor. Pretty cool. Oh, and actually the fourth one, if you are mean to everyone, you actually go on a date with a Velociraptor at the Gold Saucer. It's really cool. Hey, when Final Fantasy VII Part 2 comes out in 20 years...
No.
What? In 20 years, do you think they'll still have the part where you can go on...
Man, these guys are being hardcore.
Where you can go on the date with, Barrett?
Yeah, I can't wait. Considering what they did with the cross-dressing stuff, it's not completely unheard of that.
Oh, is it actually still in? Neat.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long time before I play it, because I'm not gonna get it digitally.
I think it went the wrong way. Hey, you finally see me limping.
We just found out today. I already posted it to like the Facebook and everything. Even when you open the door, it's like. We just found out today that the factory that's making the discs and everything for Final Fantasy VII was shut down, and they're only sending copies out to like the big box stores, like Walmart and whatever. Which means we will not be getting it for a while, which really stinks. Although it's, like, understandable, considering, you know.
So this must be the elusive Dr. Hurt.
Yeah. Gave us quite a run for our money. You get around, don't you? Just like a rat. And you got this whole island set up as your little maze.
Well, I am glad I kept you entertained, tough guy.
Shut up.
I'm surprised they sent someone after me.
This guy's voice.
I had heard they reported me as deceased.
If that's the way you want it, I'd be more than happy to oblige. So what'll it be, genius?
Relax, Agent. My study is nearing its final stages. Magnificent, isn't it? But I can't leave before I've analyzed the final results.
I don't give spit about your results. I'm taking you back under orders, so shut up and follow me. Regina, locate the communication facility and call in the extraction chamber.
You can't do this. I have rights.
According to
Ba-da-na-na.
property power, I suggest you take it up with them.
Reminder, I put the BGM
No,
to
they
4
can't do this
out
to
of
me.
12.
They deserted me 3 years ago, and now they want me back. This is preposterous.
Shut up.
And shoot me in it, you lame, flat-top, jaw-headed.
Shut up. Where's the communication room?
Take the elevator up from the control room.
I need a card to access that elevator. I know you've got one. Hand it over, Doc.
Fine.
So, we're all set then. I'll meet you at the heliport.
Hey, wait, where are you going?
I have a little unfinished business to take care of. I'll drop this guy off with Rick. Now get moving.
No questions from you, Regina?
Business.
Dude, the part where you have to do an escort mission with Dr. Kirk, kind of like Ashley in Resident Evil 4, is so ridiculous. And like you have to like get him past all these like dinosaurs and stuff.
Whoops, went the wrong way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how you do that thing.
JK, it doesn't happen. JK! That would make this game so bad. Like, imagine if, like, you had to get, like, Ashley in Resident Evil 4 past, like, freaking dinosaurs. Be like, cool. That is a large-size elevator. Now's the part in, like, any Resident Evil game where, like, a bunch of enemies would just drop down.
Yeah, it's surprisingly calm.
Huh.
Am I going the right way?
Rip. I mean, you automatically, like... Like, you automatically, like, went through it, so maybe? Like, it was, like, a cutscene.
Yeah, I don't think so. Dang it.
Rip. You have to go down that elevator again?
No, yeah, I do.
Rip.
That's the problem with this game that I was complaining about like 30 minutes ago.
I will say I love the running sound effect in this game, and pretty much any of the Resident Evils. It's so satisfying.
Yes.
I want to know how they made that noise, like what they used. Which, by the way, if you ever want like just a good video, and there's a ton of them out there, just look up like sound effect artists. And like, there's millions of videos out there for it, but it's really cool, like how they simulate stuff, like animals and rain and all that stuff. You would think it's just like something that they just have like a sound file for, and they just use it over and over again. But like in reality, these people are like artists in many ways. In fact, they are just straight up, because like, the common household objects or common foods or common whatever that they use to make these like crazy noises is just like awesome. So yeah, look it up after you're done watching all like 1,500 of our videos. I mean, you're gonna be stuck at your house for the next month, right? So why not watch all 1,500 of our videos? Make sure you start out with our very, very, very first ones, like Brandon Rages and Street Fighter. Was it Third Strike? Because the sound quality is amazing.
Yeah, before we gave a crap about anything ever.
To be fair, that was 2013 YouTube, which was more Wild West than it is now. We can't be cool like our friend Eric, who had a YouTube channel in like 2006. That's OG, my friends.
Dang, I have so many items.
Dude, you have 4 Medpack L++? Good lord.
Okay, here we go. Here's something to do. I just want to get rid of these,
Smalls.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
At this point, you could, like, literally knock out or kill every enemy in the game, I feel.
Yeah, probably good. Alright, so I'm going to equip...
This base.
Just get rid of it.
That's how much stuff you have. You're just so rich that you just, like, throw away $50 bills and you're like, it means nothing.
So, obviously this game has been designed around, like, the encounters that are forced that take damage from you and, like, all the dinosaurs. Like, they really give you a lot of stuff. But...
Can you imagine?
I think they give you too much stuff.
Can you imagine, like... So, like... Here's a question of the part, because we probably literally are in part 2 at this point. What is the minimum amount of money that you would bend down to pick up? Does that make sense? Like, would you pick up a dollar bill? Just say it's just a normal dollar bill. It's not nasty. It's not whatever. You know, it's not like all crumbled up. It's just a dollar bill.
I would say, since it's awkward to do and makes you look like a sleaze bag, I would say at least $20.
So you would not pick up a $5 bill if it was just laying there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think I would pick up any bill, but maybe not any, like, I would not pick up any coin. The only coin I would pick up is a penny, just because that's a cool, like, whatever, like, what's the word? Like, superstition kind of thing. What I was getting at is, like, what... So if you were Jeff Bezos, right? What is the minimum amount... If someone wrote you a check, just whatever, just personally wrote you a check, what is the minimum amount that you would even bother to, like, take a picture of it and upload it onto, like, your I'm not even saying going to the bank, right? Like, physically just taking a picture of it and uploading the picture to your bank's, like,
Dude,
app.
how much money does he make, like an...
So my, like, if literally someone wrote him a $50,000 check, would he be like, it's not even worth...
He's worth literal billions.
Right. So, like, my thing is, if you were Jeff Bezos, what is the like, if I just walked in and I was also a billionaire or whatever, and I was like, here's a $100,000 check, if he'd be like, I'm not even going to bother cashing it, I don't care.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, he, not only is he a billionaire, he's like a hundreds of billionaire.
Right. And that's definitely shows you the dichotomy of the world, without getting into that, you know, too much or whatever, but it's just, like, almost humorous, where it's like, for some reason, I overpaid $12 on my last year's taxes, and the government sent me a check for $12. Trev, would you go to the bank specifically to cash a $12 check?
Like, no way I would ever do that. I mean, if I was going to the bank for something else...
Anyway, right.
Yeah.
But especially since banks are closed now I'm like, I have to like drive up to the drive-up thing, right? And like do that whole like send it up, put it in the little tube and send it up or whatever. Which I never do. I always go into the bank. So I'm like, oh shoot, this part. So I'm like, when am I going to get to the bank to cash this $12 check? But just imagine instead of if it was $12, if it was like $100,000, $120,000, Jeff Bezos would be like, I don't even feel like driving to the bank to do this.
I would just have one of my millions of employees just do it for me.
Yeah. But like, imagine if it was something like he physically had to do or whatever. If I was like a millionaire and I was like, I'll give you a $100,000 check, but you have to cash it yourself, not your employees.
So this part's pretty scary.
Nice.
He can insta-kill you if you don't shoot him, like, enough.
I like thinking about stuff like that. It also makes me sad, but I like thinking about it. And by the way, I'll tell you after this.
I'll give you the abridged version. Mission complete. Scrub the initial plans and pick us up at the heliport immediately. This entire island's in blanket. The only survivor not on the team is the doctor. I'll give you the details later. Just get back here and pick us up ASAP.
Roger, on the way.
By the way, we couldn't hear what the guy was saying either.
Yeah, it's like, on purpose it's staticky, but...
The chopper's on its way here.
Great. Don't waste any time. And remember, use the main entrance to get to the heliport.
So for all the... And by the way, I am... Yeah, you might as well send the friggin... For all the money that I've paid into government, I am gonna cash that $12 check at some point.
It's just...
If it was a
It's more
person...
cathartic
If
than
it was a
anything.
person writing it to me, I'd be like, yeah, you can just keep your money, dude. That's fine. But like the government doing it, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it a special thing where I do drive up and do that, and I'm sure a lot of people would like agree with that.